What is going on, YouTube? Smaldor here with another tier list. This time it is going to be, I'm going to try to like rapid fire this one because there is 98 in this list. I know there is actually more, but this is the list that I found that had the most. Boss list of Black Myth Wukong. And normally I would have rearranged or rewritten most difficult and easiest and these kind of things of what people have wrote on here, but just leaving it as is. It's whatever. Maybe I'll actually remove the F list. Just remove this one completely. Delete row. Yeah. That way there's a little more space to work with because there is a ton of these. All right. This, I believe these guys did it in alphabetical order, so we're just gonna go rapid fire. This tier list is from difficulty. I'm actually let me go ahead and change it. Let's just do this on the fly because I don't want to do a difficulty tier list exactly. I want to do a cool, just like what do I think are the coolest bosses? Not necessarily a tier list. I'll make that F. All right. AB. Oh, whoops. I got these backwards. C. D. There we go. All right. Off the bat, we have the Ramana Bat. This is chapter 3. After the turtle, this is an optional boss. This guy flies around. I think anything that flies in this game, I think is bad because you don't have a lot of tools to deal with things in the air. So I'm going to give it a D. I don't think it's F tier worthy because there are a lot of things that are worse. All the frongs are pretty much exactly the same, and I think they are average. The Golden Eye Beast. Okay, so this is a later game boss. This is chapter 5 in a secret area. Secret area chapter 5 boss. I think this is an A tier. It is a fire boss. It is one of the larger bosses. I think it's this is very Dark Souls type of a boss. He leaves fire on the ground. You got to dodge fire. You need all that. He just has, I don't know. I think it's a really cool boss. Black Bear Gwai. Okay, so this is the final boss of chapter 1. Story-wise, I had a difficult time with this boss at the time of doing it. I think large in part because most of chapter 1 is very easy, with the exception of this guy. This guy I think is kind of like like the first real like check in the game that's mandatory. Obviously, you can fight the Wandering White very early on, but that guy's optional. But the more I think about it, and the more I've seen other people play it and do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and put him as a B tier fight. I think he's above average. There's a lot going on. Black Long, I also think is B. I think it's a high B. I like the lightning. I like the fact that there's multiple ways it utilizes the ground attacks. You can either get out of it by jumping over it, dodging it. I believe pillar stance. Or there's also a rock you can stand on. And, that's on top of all the other things too, right? You have to dodge when he's clapping. You have to dodge, not cheeks, but his weapons. And things like that. I like it. Plus it's lightning. Come on, lightning's cool. Black Wind King. So this is the human fight. I actually think he's okay. He's better than the Black Bear Gwai. Brand Iron cards. These are trash because these aren't real bosses. Buddha's right hand. This fight, so I liked the concept of this fight, but I think it was executed very poorly. So there's a lot of these fights that I one-shot, so it's kind of hard for me to really gauge some of these properly. I think this guy conceptually and visually was really, really cool, but this fight was abysmally easy, and it was in a narrow hallway. I'm going to give it a C. Bullguard, this guy doesn't count, so F tier. Captain Kalpa Wave. Shit. Which dude is this? Is this the blood guy? This is the mandatory one, the last one that's mandatory of those guys, like Lotus Vision, Captain Vi. Yeah. This one was actually pretty cool. I'll go ahead and put him in as a high B. I like the black Luong. Captain Lotus Vision. This guy sucked, but he was also really cool because he's like shoots laser beams and stuff. Give him a low B. This guy was the mandatory one, Wise Voice. I liked the fact that it was not a normal boss fight. Basically, you wear down the leg, get him to collapse, and then you do your damage, and then rinse and repeat. And essentially, you a lot of dodging, rinse, repeat, damage him enough to knock him down, then do the real damage, etc. Flora's Lava. He also had a Flora's Lava type ability. You know what? He's pretty cool. Centipede Guai. This guy was pretty simple. I'll just make him a standard C tier. Chen. This guy was actually a terrible fight. He's the one that you don't kill because he's the guy who ends up becoming an NPC in Ruyi Village. Or the Zodiac Village. Cloud Treading Deer. This is late game. I actually thought this was a lot of these later bosses I think are really, really cool. I'm going to give him a high B tier. Commander Beetle. I'm trying to look at him like, who is that? I'm going to leave him on F while I'm thinking about what that is. The cards all suck. I thought this guy was cool as hell. The Cyan Luong. This is the Frost Lightning guy that you fight on the turtle. At the time you fight him, he is very hard. At least I think so, because he has some moves that are just like super, super fast. But I liked him a lot. Taoist to me, this guy was extremely easy, extremely simple. So much so I think he's actually F tier. Duskveil, this might be the coolest fight in the game, or one of. He's one of the few bosses in the game that has two full phases. I thought he was really cool. Really, really cool. Earth Wolf. F. Elder Armor Worm. F. Elder Jinchi. So, this guy was okay, except I hate bosses that do this. I've talked about this before. I hate bosses that have phases where they are untargetable and all you have to do, like, you have to just stop them from doing or minimize your loss, basically. Whereas his mobs are coming at him, and if they reach him, they pray to him and they heal him. And you just got to do what you can until the phase is over. I really don't like that. But otherwise, I thought he was okay. I'll give him like a mid C tier. Emerald Arm Mantis. This fight was sick. Fastest win and quickest fire. This is a later game fight I did not like because it's a 2-boss fight. Is it the one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, it's the one I'm thinking of. Losi, Father of Stones. I'm trying to remember that fight. I'll leave him down here while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to come back to some of these. First Prince of the Flowing Sands. I can't give him an F because he is one of the bosses that has a secret mechanic. If you don't want to use the Wandering White Spirit to open up the crack on the wall. Otherwise, the fight's kind of lame. Give him a low D. Flint Chief. Who the like, some of these guys were like so fast, I don't even remember who is what. I don't know. Flint Vanguard. What? Okay, this is, or like the Sacred Divinity. Is this the one fight? I want to make sure. I'm looking at all the other ones to make sure there's no other one. I believe it's there. I think it's an A tier fight. And if we were doing this by difficulty, he would definitely be up there as one of the most difficult fights. But he's not. Fubon. See, here's the thing. I liked the Fubon fight. Very easy, but I really liked it because I'm someone who I either appreciate in third-person action adventure games with RPGs, whatever, these style of games. I really enjoy the technical skill aspect of fighting something that's humanoid. If you're human, they're humanoid as well. So it's very skill-based. It's a lot of back and forth and all this kind of stuff. But I also really appreciate very well done giant scale bosses. And it's that's kind of like the first like big boss you're gonna fight in the game. Fungi woman, that's one of the ones, the plants. Giant Shigandang. So this is actually a boss fight that I didn't fight on my stream. I ended up doing it after I beat the game, and I did it off stream because it was like one of the final big bosses that I didn't beat. So I went back and beat him real quick. And speaking of giant bosses, this is the biggest. I actually think this fight sucks. Gold Armor Rhino. This fight sucks. Gore Eye Taoist. It's a standard B. Or C, I mean. Like I said, I'm trying to... Cart F. Green Caped Martial Artist. So this is another, like, humanoid fight. I think it's pretty cool. I'll go and put him, like, right in here. Guang Mo. Oh, this is the guy in the very beginning with the snakes. Standard, whatever. Guanji, same thing. Actually, I'm going to give him a high C. 100-Eye Taoist Master. So this is the guy I believe that opens up. If I'm recalling this correctly. Opens up the Purple Mountain. It's alright. I'll give him a low B. Alright, Kang Jin Luong. Visually, this fight is incredible. This is the first, like, in my opinion, like, super incredible visual fights in the game. However, the fight itself sucks because this dude's flying around like crazy. I'm going to give it a high C. And I'm only even giving it that high because it's visually cool. King Jinstar is very similar, but I think is better because it doesn't... She mostly stays in human form and only flies around a little bit. And her lightning skills are more cool. And she's a more difficult fight, but I still think fair. Go ahead and give her like a mid-B. Keep her the Flaming Mountains. So this fight... It's a high B. King and Second Prince. Okay, so I like this fight only because you can do this fight in two ways. You can do it the hard way or the easy way. Low B. It's the final fight of the game, man. I'm going to put him here because it's a real skill check. Another frog. Another frog. Yellowbrow. This fight is arguably one of the actual worst fights in the game in terms of a fight. Yeah, this doused me. I'll put him in the D tier because I just immediately put him low because he was easy. It's another frog. See, visually, I think this fight is sick. I'm gonna put him right here. Man, why did they break this up into multiple encounters? I mean, I guess. I don't really think it's F tier, but I'm putting it F tier because this isn't the real fights for this guy. The real fight is the sack encounter, which is a pretty sick fight. Mad Tiger, it's average. Man in Stone's honestly a bad fight. Monk from the Sea. So, like, dudes like this, I mean, all they are is just empowered spirit versions of regular mobs. Mother of the Stones, this is not a real fight. Non-able. 9-capped. Oh, this is another one of the plants. Yellowbrow. Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot. You have him two ways. The first encounter is actually not that bad. It's kind of average. It's the second encounter that's dog shit. I didn't know that we're gonna do it separately. Non-pure. All of these guys are roughly the same, except one of them was actually kind of cool. I think it's this one. I think the non-void one's pretty cool. I'm gonna put him as a low B. Non-pure. Some of these guys in the C tier are not in the right order in the C tier. We'll kind of go over it a little bit afterwards, but I'm just trying to like put him in the right ranking. Old Ginseng Guai. Whatever. Pale Axe Stalwart. He's average. Poison Chief, this fight is average. Red Boy is his second phase here. Because if his second phase is in this list, it's sick. I'm trying to look. Alright, he's S tier. Rustical Cart, absolute trash. Scorpion Lord, this fight was decent. Good, like a high B. Average, below average. So this was the kaiju fights. I'm actually going to put him in A tier because the visuals were pretty cool. Zoom out a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see. Supreme Inspector. I thought this was average. This fight, I mean, was okay. The Four Heavenly Kings, again, this is another visually cool fight. The Red Luong is a pretty cool fight. Put that in the red. Red, Jesus. B tier. The Second Sister. Yeah, C tier. Tiger Vanguard. Secret, this guy was not good. But the required one was good. That's a high B for me. Tiger's Acolyte's kind of like it's a quest fight. Okay. Stone Monkey is phase 1, but the Great Sage's Broken Shell is phase 2. But if you fail, which most people will, you can just start from the Great Sage's Broken Shell. This is S tier. These are the two people in the ball. This fight was whatever. Venom Dow. Oh, the Venom Dallas is the guy that opens up the Purple Mountain. See, the second encounter was better. Violet Spider. Fight was eh. Wandering Spirit, meh. Waterwood Beast. This is like whatever, meh. White Clad Noble. This fight was actually pretty sick. Oh, here's Yaksha King. Okay, I'm gonna move Red Boy down to B tier. I'm gonna move Stone Monkey here. Yellow Robe Squire. This fight's a joke. Yellow Wind Sage. Okay, so Yellow Wind Sage is probably the most rage-inducing fight that I had in the entire playthrough. But granted, this is only chapter 2. You're lacking a lot of things. I didn't learn about the Wind Tamer until after, because I did that stuff after instead of before, which, hey, But if you think about the fight, it's a huge skill check. Because even with the Wind Tamer, all that really does is remove the tornadoes in the final phase. You're still going to have a lot of issues, which I had, which was, you know, not being able to see the invisible walls with the wind when you're next to them. Because when you're right next to it, you can't see it. So even though it looks like there's all this space to go, to dodge to, you actually can't, so you don't move. It was a huge problem I had in that fight. I'm going to give it a high C. Yin Tiger, this fight was sick. It's very basic, but it's like, it was really, really fun. Yin Yang Fish. Oh, I'm surprised they separated this from the where did I put them? Keeper of the Flaming Mountains. The Keeper of the Flaming Mountains was more fun than the fish. The fish was whatever. Jubaje. Just average. Oh. Anyways, this is roughly where everything's gonna go. I'm too lazy to modify the middle of the pack. These guys can, a lot of them can be interchangeable. Pretty much all the frogs, average, whatever, they're all the same. Down here, all the carts are trash. They are literal trash. Bullguard's trash. Commander, I'm still trying to remember. Oh, I remember who Commander Beetle is. Okay, and this is also Act 4. This is towards the end of Act 4. I'll put him C tier somewhere. Father of Stones, I can't remember, nor Flint Chief or Flint Vanguard. I can't remember, dude. I don't know why I don't remember. And then the first and second encounter of these guys, I'll put him D. Why can't I remember these things? Oh. I remember one of them now. I do. I just don't remember. Actually, I remember both of them. I just don't remember which is which. Not that it really matters. I'll give them both C. Okay. There it is. There's probably more. I believe there is more bosses in the game. This is just what the list showed. I'm trying to think if there was any other bosses that I could really think of. But looking at my list, right? S tier. This is definitely my S tier ranking. Duskvale is the coolest fight in the game. Great Sage's Broken Shell isn't as visually cool, but it's very impactful. I think it's an extremely challenging fight because you kind of have two phases of this fight. And the first phase, you have all your abilities. And the second phase, you lose almost all your abilities. Or not all your abilities, but you lose like the extra power of having all of Wukong's relics. Or at least some. You lose some stuff, and it becomes extra challenging. I really liked it. The Emerald Arm Mantis. I actually had a little bit of difficulty with this fight, but it was really cool because I felt like it's just a pure skill check on your reaction and your speed. Yaksha King, this is Red Boy after he transforms with consuming the relic. This guy, I mean, I one-shot him, but no, I didn't. Two-shot. Yeah, took me two-shot. Visually is sick, dude. I mean, that's why I was sick. And then a lot of the A tier fights I liked as well. I'm really tempted to put Tiger Vanguard A tier as well, but yeah. Just keep in mind, even if it's B tier, that means I really enjoyed the fight. And a lot of these fights in C as well, I think there's some of these bosses in C that are like, they have elements that should be worse than C, and then they have elements that make them higher than C. It's just, it kind of balances out. And that's where I end up putting them. So, you know, and Buddha's right hand is one of them, because visually, I think this fight is sick. I think thematically, it's sick. But the fight is also, it's like a joke fight at the same time. So it's like, well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I haven't done a thoughts video in a minute, so, you know, I'm playing through games and stuff. Let me know what you guys think, how much you disagree or agree, what you guys think of the game. I also have my review and thoughts on the game as a whole put on my YouTube as well. Yeah, leave comments down below, like, subscribe, all that if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.